Hello. As Intercontinental Group of Awesome and I-95 Games presents Masks, Halcyon City. This is a tabletop RPG that I and some friends, some here in America, others abroad, we play. And this is our first official session. We had an issue 0 where we introduced 3 of the 4 characters. Do have a bit of bad news that one of the players who was going to join us for this mini series is unable to commit, that she had some things to take care of. Yoni, you will be missed. I hope everything works out for you. And so we're going to continue forward with 4 at this point. It means we're bringing Paul's character in, introducing them, and we'll have a little bit of relationships to define, make sure that our influence is set up, and then we will roll forward with the official issue. So let's start off with Paul. Go ahead and introduce your character, and then we'll have everybody else introduce their characters. Then we'll come back to you, Paul, and work through the relationships that you have. Okay?
Okay. Wait, I have so many windows. I can't. Am I hearable? Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Wait.
There are many windows. My character is Veridian. Anil Hara. He is a legacy, and the group that he is associated with is the Arcanists, the supernatural or wizardly heroes of Halcyon City, who are led by his father, who goes by Magister Justinian. Father and mother are both first generation from India. Anil is second, therefore, and was raised here. And his mother is also a member of the Arcanists, and I have forgotten to give her a name. So I'll get there in a minute. But Anil would go off on Sundays and go to the mall by himself and eat pizza at Sbarro and, Taco Bell and read adventure novels and comics in the back of the Barnes and Noble or whatever this universe's equivalent is, and watch movies that had kissing and explosions and that sort of thing. I officially became part of the legacy when I was 16, which was about 9 months ago. There was a ceremony, and I'm not supposed to talk about it. The greatest accomplishment of my legacy, other than producing me, is that they took down the paranormal group of 5 child-appearing beings known as the Quintet. They still don't know what they were or whether they're gone. The public looks at my legacy as quirky, weird, but effective. Aegis doesn't acknowledge that there's anything different about what the mystical types do than it's all just super science to them, and they dismiss it. And are as likely to want to dissect people, but dissect as to work with, if you're an avatar of a god or something. The public likes my father, doesn't really respects father, but doesn't try to understand him. Sorry, I sound like I'm reading because I'm reading. And I love the Arcanists. I love my legacy. And it relates to my reasons for being a hero, mostly because it was kind of not an option not to. But all of that pop culture I picked up on Sundays when I had my one free day kind of made me want to. And I care about this team because they're close to my age. And it's the first time I feel like I might be able to have a chance to have friends that we have actual common ground, rather than me having to pretend I'm not going home and practicing hand gestures for 4 hours after school every day. Yeah, I think that's it for bio stuff.
And we'll work this out, but he also is in a band too,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, I
we'll
was
talk
waiting
more
so we
about
could
that.
talk
Yep.
about
We'll talk more about that. Okay, good.
And just so you know, the 2 legacy moves I took were Never Give Up, Never Surrender, which replaces the Take a Powerful Blow when someone more powerful than me does that. And then also, I Know What I Am. Once per scene, when I defend a teammate, I can shift Savior up and another label down, and in addition to any other benefits, even if I fail. So that is Veridian / Anil.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Next, we will go over to Alex. Alex, please tell us about your character.
Yeah, I'm Unisha Pal, armature. She is the brain, so she's basically the super genius, the Hank Pym, the Reed Richards, the Moon Girl. She is from India and came over to study, and she lost limbs from a landmine as a small girl, and now has replaced them with prosthetics, kind of a swarm of Dr. Octopus tentacles that shift around her body to form what she needs. Yeah. And she currently lives above her aunt and uncle's shop in Lincoln, in the attic.
Is there any smoky stuff that comes out of the attic?
No, I'm very good at hiding that.
Good. Thank you so much. So next we will go with Jan. Remind us who you're playing, Jan.
I'm playing Atlas for Marcus Meyer. He didn't always used to be this strong. He's the Bull character sheet playbook. He was actually kind of sick, and then people offered him that they could maybe cure him, but then they shipped him off to some weird facility, and yeah, they cured this disease, but he also suddenly turned into a hulking man, 7.5 foot tall and all muscle. And yeah, he's having some trouble still adjusting to his new form, his new body shape, and his new strength.
Is he the kind that we would see breaking things when he isn't like controlling things, he like crushes coffee cups and the like?
That still happens.
Yeah.
Especially like he tries to keep calm because getting a bit angry, of course, tends to like make it worse. Actually, like any extreme emotions tend to make it worse.
Nice. That is a thing I'll keep in mind. Thank you. And then last but not least, Jen, please remind us who you're playing.
I am playing Ashley Banner, aka Seraph, the Janus. She's living a double life and trying to make schoolwork and band practice and having a steady girlfriend go while also doing teen superheroing stuff.
Oh, this girlfriend. So tell us just a wee bit about them.
Her name is Lisbeth LeBlanc. She's a cute redhead who's way smarter than me. And I don't know what school she goes to. And I kind of don't know how we met.
Cool. We'll figure that stuff out.
Yeah.
Awesome. How long do you imagine that the two of you have been dating?
Probably not anything more than 2 months.
And she has no idea about your secret life.
Oh, no, she does. She's... Hold on, let's see here. Who outside of the team knows about my dual identity? My mom, my girlfriend, probably Magus Justinian, maybe a record store owner. And that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, if you read When I First Put on the Mask and Why, in fact, I'll narrate it now because it's funny, and people who are watching the videos are going to be like, well, what is she talking about?
That's right. Those people, you need to think of them.
I do. So soon after Ash moved into the city, she was doing a dry run of what it would be like to take public transit to get to school, and stopped by a record store on the way to make it feel like a fun trip. And in the middle of listening to some sample of a local band, strange creatures started pouring out of the back room, playing a game of keep away with this dusty looking psychedelic rock album. And unfortunately, Ashley's body was like, this is danger, but we know what to do about danger. So Wings came out, big fight spills into the street, and by the time Ash has that album in her hands, Magus Justinian arrives and explains that there's a mystical rune smuggled in the liner notes of that album that traveled from like England here to the United States, and suggested that she pull herself together. So Ash is never going back to that record store ever.
Oh man. She did the right thing. It's not fair.
It's not fair.
Oh, the price you pay to be a hero.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that. That is lovely. All right, we have the 4-1 on our 3 established heroes. For those who watched issue 0, you guys did a thing that's slightly out of time, introduced everybody, which was awesome. And in that, we had a slightly out of phase time. Poor Seraph. So we're going to skip past that. We may deal with that in flashback. And we also had a claymore. It's a big honking sword sized for Atlas that is a thing that exists. I'm going to say that and before we move back to Veridian, I just want to kind of stake this out in the open. There is, we're in Halcyon City, and the Halcyon City Herald Collection, there are a bevy of custom moves. Some of them are quite lovely. Some of them are terrifying. And I am going to say that for now, the Claymore that is in Atlas's possession has a custom moves, the Tap into Eldritch Powers custom move, which I will stick right in our chat, but I'm also going to add that and in the Roll20 as a handout, so don't worry. And so that is out there. That's a thing. And so let's see. Claymore. And I will edit that so everybody can see it. Cool. So hopefully you guys can see that. If not, just message me. Yeah.
While you're in Roll20, do you want to screen share the Veridian picture?
Dude,
so
that
our audience can see it?
Yes, because it's a lovely picture and a fantastic idea. So let me do that. Thank you, Paul. That is a great question. As you get to introduce your character, there is Rhydian.
He is so cool. So I've introduced the character. So what do you want me to do now?
Oh, sorry. Work through relationships. I did
Yes.
already. Yeah.
So I've got to go back to yet another window. So I've done the backstory. We've got when our team first came together, all things considered, we did well and impressed an established hero. Who was it? I think the easiest thing would be to say Magus Justinian, but I would rather actually go with another member of the legacy who is Sister Occultus, who is a retired member of the Arcanists. And actually, she is hard to impress. She's really normally very judgmental. So the fact that whatever we did worked well enough to get her to even like nod approvingly is a big deal. And then back to relationships. I know that I'm in a band with Ash, but that's not one of my questions. I think someone has already you once got caught doing something that shames your legacy with blank. Does anyone have that? Or did I just claim other people's? Hearing nothing, I will assume that, would anyone like to step up and have been caught doing something that shames my legacy with me?
Science.
we entered the science fair together. You know what though? You could have been running tests on me.
Oh, yeah. Analyzing the magic.
And
trying to quantify it.
They found out. Do you like that?
Yeah,
you cool with that, Rich?
I like it. So you were trying to test the magic armature to figure out how is it that you make things go.
Yeah, because I mean, there must be a scientific reason.
Obvious. You're just like Aegis. I'm sure that endears you to.
Or at least it might follow different rules, but there's got to be rules. There has to be rules. Not like in an authoritative way, but in a reality makes sense. Yeah.
And my other relationship is I trust blank and told them an important secret of my legacy. Since we have the band, Ash, I think that might be you. What do you think about that?
I am cool with that.
I'll figure out what the important secret I've told you is.
Sure.
But
For
now, know that. And I know that I have already over chat volunteered for a couple of your relationship questions. Did you fill them in and can remind me of that?
I've got one of them. You told Veridian about your shame and asked them for their confidence.
Got it.
Because of having a family in India and connections there, I think you would know a bit more about the superhero and villain dealings than others would in India.
I like that. And I think Yana had given me one, but that doesn't matter anymore. Am I filling in a blank for either of the other two of you?
Did anyone else have anything with Blossom?
No, sadly.
No, I've just got one with Seraph for I wish I could be a better hero, more like Seraph. And I think I'm your rival, Atlas, in your Love and Rivals.
Yes, you are my rival. And I also got influence over you for you having a thing last time.
And everybody gets influence from Veridian.
Yay!
I got influence over you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do I have influence over anyone?
I'll check. I'm not sure to bring up my. I just give it to 2, so I've already given.
Okay. All right. So I've got no influence. That will change.
I can see your character maybe also. You and Armature will probably have to fight for my rifle spot.
Could shift back and forth over time.
It does, like, I can change it whenever I want.
Does it? Is it strictly play a character?
Nope.
So it can go literally any.
I can just go like, okay, I know that this guy just said something, and now he's my rival.
I kind of like that idea.
Rival.
Like hot swapping, like hot flashes. All of a sudden, you're my rival. That's good. Could threaten people. Oh, don't. You better take that back, or you're rivaled.
For sure.
Rivalize you.
I will rival you at the drop of a hat.
All right. Now, what I would like to do now that we have the team assembled is let's go through the when our team first came together questions. Right? Because we haven't done that. And I always think that's a lovely way to form up our team. The bull is the one who gets to start us off. So why don't you go ahead and read your team first? And if you guys need, I've got it here, so I can read it for you if you need it.
I got it. When our team first came together, we defeated a dangerous enemy. Who or what was it?
So question, do we want it to be something like the shame? But then I think that's not a thing that, Alex, you want to have out there. Do you guys want me to suggest a few villains that exist in Halcyon City? Or do you want to make up someone?
Like, and was it during the same fight that impressed the
Yeah, I didn't realize we weren't doing that yet, so I can wait and decide.
I think that makes sense though. Like, I
Yeah.
mean,
I kind of like
because
that.
it was when our team first came together, so like.
So we'll tie those together. So I think there's a question in there of like you impress somebody. So maybe that's it. What about? I'm just going to throw this out here. This is from the deck of villains, which is an actual deck of cards, but I don't go to meat space. So here you go. What about Seismic Prime?
I guess like trouble.
Right? Look at Seismic Prime. Seismic Prime is an artificial life form, an attempt to imbue the inanimate with life. His existence is painful. The only way he can reduce his suffering is by venting its pain into the earth itself, causing earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunamis, and other disasters.
Yeah.
Do you like that? It's your question, Bull. So
I like it.
All right. Beautimous. So you guys faced Seismic Prime. Cool. All right. So then with that, we go to the Janus. You have a question.
It's true. We saved the life of someone important, either to the city or to us. Who was it and why are they important? I mean, we could just go there and be like, it was the mayor. Or maybe somebody cool from Armature's college.
Ooh, that could be interesting.
We could have saved a fellow hero or somebody who's important to Aegis. We could have saved maybe a retired Golden Age hero or Silver Age. Let's see. Who do we think that Mr. Seismic would have threatened specifically? I mean, it feels like you're creating volcanoes in a city. Anybody?
Could it be some sort of one of those, you know, CEO, self-owned company scientists, you know, the Norman Osborn type?
Yeah, I like that.
The pissed off at whoever gave him the powers type thing.
Cool. So let's actually tie that into our kind of city stuff. I'm jumping over. How about that somebody at the Hanover Institute of Technology, which ties us back to issue 0?
Sure. Yeah, I like that.
So you save the life of a scientist at Hanover. What are, it's your question, Janus. So do you have a name, or do you want me to?
Let me.
Or do you have like gender, age?
I definitely want it to be a lady. And
you understand this lady could be doing bad stuff making Seismic Prime. I mean,
yeah, that's fine.
Seismic Prime's got a beef.
That's fine. Ladies can be bad too.
I know. I'm just messing.
I know. You know what? Her name is Jocelyn Soler. Soler.
That's a really cool. Dr. Jocelyn Soler. Jocelyn? Is that how you spell it in your head? Yep. We are on the same page.
Got it.
Cool. So you save the life of Dr. Jocelyn Soler, which means that she is very positively inclined towards your as yet unnamed team. That's wonderful. I love it. And so why are they important, though? Is it because they work at the Institute, or is there another reason?
Let's see. I mean, she's important to the city. She's probably connected in some part to whatever programs Armature's a part of. Maybe there's some kind of sponsorship on the table.
Do you think maybe Armature gets a few benefits from the fact that Dr. Soler was saved? Since I think you were doing some ties to Hanover, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice. The Seraph would get more bennies, but Seraph just like disappears. She's only around when she's harrowing. Haha, harrowing. I meant heroing, but I said harrowing. Awesome. Well, like it. Good. So that's our Janus question. Next is our legacy question. Paul?
And that's the one I've already sort of answered because I didn't realize we did this. And that is Sister Occultus, who is a retired member of my legacy.
Okay.
And
now,
she is normally quite critical.
Quite critical. Now, so retired member, she's older than, I assume? Or appears older?
Significantly, yeah.
Who would play her in a movie? Do you have, I don't know if like that's easier for you or harder.
It has to be Dame Judi Dench.
Okay, there we go. And you had listed her the way you were calling her. I was actually, I want to pull it up, make sure I'm not misspeaking.
Yeah, she's on my sheet as another member of the legacy.
Sister Occultus. Now, when you say sister, is this just like a brother voodoo, sister occultist kind of thing, or do you see her as being Catholic related, or what?
No, it's just a title.
Okay, cool. Cool. And that leads me to a question I actually had meant to ask earlier. This is the perfect time for it, though. Magus Justinian? Is Justinian a title?
Justinian is a name that he's adopted. Magus is a singular of magi.
Okay. So Justinian is kind of his hero name, as it were?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I will come up with a name and hero name for Veridian's mom at some point. I just haven't done that yet.
No worries. All right, so we've done our bull, and I assume... Oh, that's right. I don't have this updated for the Brain, so we'll put it in now. Brain, what is your question?
Yes, I answered it last session, but it was a little less specific to when we first came together. I created something lasting and beneficial for the whole team. What was it? And my idea was some sort of... I kind of uploaded into all the networks of the city software that would basically, whenever we didn't want to be followed, tracked, recorded, would just, like, oh, that security camera is a bit flickery, or oh, there's a bit of static or on that recording, and basically we could just, if we were not, if it was not approved of us going off and doing things by super parents, we could cover our tracks. And I think we discussed the idea of it being some sort of small button that could be fitted onto an earring, a ring, a brooch, something you just click it on, and you are now not recorded by surveillance. Nothing I can do about human eyes, unless you allow me to let loose that swarm of nano things, but,
No thanks.
Okay, fair enough.
Denied.
Just saying.
Enough weird stuff has happened to me already.
The nano things won't go in your eyes, they would go in everyone else's eyes.
That doesn't change how I feel.
Fair enough.
Not better.
Jen, I have to see what your shirt says now.
Oh. All right. Prepare for the truth.
Nobody cares what you're stupid. Oh, the truth. That's good. It's good stuff. All right. Good. So that ties off all of when our team first came together. You guys faced Seismic Prime, who was trying to... he was creating a tsunami in the ocean that was about to overwhelm Halcyon City with tidal waves. And I think that as we look at the map, I actually move you guys away from it. I'm imagining like the Wading and South Rivers both started to overflow, and luckily everybody on the coast has flood insurance, right? That's the way it goes, so they're fine. And so, yes, good question. All conditions from previous session, because it was an issue 0, we'll have them gone just so you guys can start clean and fresh. You still have the Claymore, but other than that, everyone is together. So we know that thing happened, but we don't exactly know how Seraph got out of time. Maybe she was just an hour ahead. We're not sure. I don't know if you guys have read the Halcyon City Hero Collection, but there's a part about duplicates in there. I'm just saying that's a thing that's in the canon of that thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, it's probably nothing. It's probably nothing. Cool. So we will begin by getting to know a little bit about Veridian. I think it would be cool if we frame up a scene. Veridian, where is it that you live? And I'm going to screen share just so we can kind of all be on the map together. Where is it that you live within Halcyon City? We are using Freedom City, and I'm editing as we go to tweak out some certain names, but we're using the excellent Freedom City map, which is for mutants and masterminds, because there is no official map of Halcyon City. So this is what we're using instead. So where do you imagine Rhydian and his father and mother all live?
I have not thought about it. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. Now, are you just imagining that he's got a place like way out in the middle of nowhere, kind of in a rich southern? Oh, by the way, this isn't super rich. Like this is where the penitentiary is, and there's like so this is kind of the slummier area in Lincoln. It's a little rougher, although we do have two PCs in there. This is the heart of Halcyon City. So we've got Midtown City Center, Riverside, all of that's ritzy. You got the theater district over here. You got Hope Prep High School, and you also have Liberty Park. So all of that is very ritzy, super expensive. And then, of course, I imagine that kind of Kingston is one of your people who cross the bridge, kind of rich folks in North Bay, probably nice too.
Okay, I'm looking at.
Oh gosh, Port Regal, of course. Rich people have to live there. Why else would you call it Regal?
Where is Port Regal?
It's on the southeastern side there, over below Century Narrows. In this area right here, it's kind of a finger point. Yeah, thank you. I should do that thing. That is a smart thing that smart people do.
Yeah, I think Port Regal works. So I'll go down on the key and see if there's anything about Port Regal there.
I don't know if there's anything officially about Port Regal. Yep. We can make up wherever we want. It is considered outside of city bounds. Maybe Port Regal is one of those places that like has applied to be its own township kind of deal.
Yeah, it's trying to incorporate separately.
Yes, that's it. That's totally it. That's
right. Actually, it has points of interest for that area.
Oh, it does? Oh, thank you.
76 and 77.
76, 77 are there's an amusement park and
an asylum.
Perfect.
Well, when you crack the reality and see beyond the veil.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the way the streets are laid out, yeah, Port Regal is very obviously a posh area for people who, want their condo or
I want their privacy.
Their nice McMansion and some privacy, yeah, and a little bit of land. Like if you lived between that crook in Everglade on that northeastern corner of Lake Mackenzie and the Lonely Point Road, you'd have a lot of space. There's also .78 Lonely Point. I wonder what Lonely
Blackstone
Point. Oh, the naval station.
Oh my God! Do you live on Blackstone Island? Oh
my God!
I would love to live on Blackstone.
Oh, it's a naval
Island.
station.
Oh,
Lonely Point is the
Lonely
naval
Point
station.
station.
Blackstone
you could totally
Island
live
is,
on that. Yeah,
unmarked.
and I think perhaps that is also where. Like maybe the Arcanists' headquarters are there as well.
Yes. Are you imagining like castle kind of thing going on there?
I think it would be. I think it would be more stately home, more like Professor Xavier's school.
Ooh, nice, very cool. I'm kind of imagining like in that when our team first came together, like all the waters are rising, but like the waters are rising. I don't know if you guys saw in across the pond, but there was a Weather Channel thing that happened when the latest hurricane was coming, where one person used this really cool graphics program to show what 3 feet and 6 feet look like of water. And so I'm imagining that around Blackstone Island, like all the water building up over this invisible wall. It's sorry, that just got me super excited. I'll stop. Please forgive me for being excited. Good. So yeah, that's way out.
Yeah, but I have magical travel. Of the power set that we developed for Mystical Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
There are 5 things there. Supernatural Scholarship, Magical Bursts, Magical Travel, Magical Binding, and Illusion. I think that I'm taking 3 I'm supposed to take only 3 out of the 5. So I'm going to do scholarship, travel, and binding.
I love it. And what that means from a mechanical perspective is that when you unleash your powers, we'll frame them within those 3 particular categories. One of your advances as a legacy is that you can unlock more of them. And I think that's great. And of course, Sister Occultus and your father have all of those, right? And probably some other stuff going on.
Yep.
They've been in the game.
If you all will give me 1 second, I'm going to try to find a chair that makes less noise, but also allows me to sit where I'm sitting.
Early bio break?
Yeah, let's just call bio break, guys. It's 8 minutes after. Let's meet at 15 after. We'll see you guys in 7. I'm so super excited we found Blackstone Island because that's just the coolest thing.
It's a cool place to be from.
I do like me some maps.
This is a really cool map, and I'm glad we're using it.
Yes, it delights me.
Yeah. I think maps good. Not so keen on floor plans.
Yeah, floor plans often feel restrictive, unless they're loose. Like, yeah. But I love some of the things that are snuck in here in Freedom City, like Ditko Street. You know, that amuses me.
Yeah.
There's
a
also
Claremont something, isn't there, somewhere?
I think there's a Claremont something. I know there's a Claremont high school that is part of Mutants and Masterminds canon. And there was one other one I saw. It's like Goodman something, Goodman Way, or something like that. That was cute that they stuck there on. Love it. Kirby Museum of Fine Arts. That's the best.
Yep.
It's good. It's good. All right, cool. Welcome back.
Lincoln also has very interesting street names.
Oh, yeah.
B Street, C Street, D Street, C Street, F Street.
Yeah. Like you're on the 4th and O, or you could be on 16th and M.
I'm on L24. No, actually, that doesn't exist. K24.
There's in Minneapolis, downtown in Minneapolis, they have avenues and streets, and they're all numbered, so you can be on the corner of 2nd Avenue and 2nd Street kind of deal. You would think, oh, it's grid and it would be very easy to manage, except it is also like the river runs through it, and so everything is really skewed. It's because the thing is, like, because my brain keeps thinking, oh, I can go from this number to this number, I got lost constantly. And when I lived there, it was before, like, really you had Garmin's. Like, you didn't have a phone that would tell you everywhere to go at that time. I spent one point trying to find a place, and I called my friend Greg Seacar, and over the phone, because these were back like Nokia candy bar phone type deal, he had memorized all of downtown Minneapolis. He was my Google. He was my Google Street directions. It was amazing. And to your left, you will see 7th Ave, and you take a right here. It was scary.
I'm suddenly sad that the street numbers don't go up beyond 44, because otherwise we could have had I-95.
If only. Oh, we should stick that somewhere.
There's a spot to even more confusing than the corner of 2nd and 2nd. There's a spot in Atlanta where Peachtree Boulevard and Peachtree Street intersect. So you can literally be on the corner of Peachtree and Peachtree.
Yeah. Yeah, Peachtree is a main thoroughfare in Atlanta, and there are a number of, my brain calls them tributaries that come off of Peachtree that are also named Peachtree Club, Peachtree Circle. Yeah, it's terrible.
It's everywhere.
It is a horrible, awful thing done by unimaginative, cruel people who didn't think about visitors to their fair city.
You need the English way of doing it, of just random stuff based on 300 years ago.
Well, where I grew up, last side thing, but where I grew up, the first person who built a house where they were going to build a street got to determine the name of the street. And often they would name it after their family's last name, which is why we have Street Drive. Street Drive. That tickles me.
It hurts me right in the core of my being.
I mean, I think in where I'm from, there's these 2 pubs, one called the Original Oak and one called the Skyrack. And the Skyrack sounds like a cool modern name for a pub, but is actually Old English, and it's been a pub there since. And so actually, I think it actually even translates to like the Oak or something. It's like maybe even pre-Old English. It's like
nice. There's a street road in Philly. Awesome. All right. Does anyone have a start of session move? I don't think anyone does, but I wanted to check. I know there's when time passes on your legacy, and it might be a cool thing we do as a start just because we're kicking things off, but I wanted to check in. Does anybody else have a start of session?
I just have an end of session thing.
I too have a when time passes move.
You know what? Why don't we do both of those? So let's start off with the Janus is when time passes.
And did I put it on my character sheet? I did not.
No problem. I have all the playbooks up, so I will bring that. I have the Janus. Okay, hold on. I think my PDF reader is going to crash because I haven't used it in a little while.
Okay, well, I've got mine up too. So,
yeah, it's crashing.
When time passes, roll plus your mundane to see how you're managing your obligations. On a hit, things are going pretty well. You have an opportunity or advantage thanks to one of your obligations. On a 7 to 9, you've lapsed on one obligation your choice. On a miss, you haven't given your normal life anywhere near the attention it deserves. The GM will choose 2 obligations that are going to bite you in the butt. So,
all right. Lovely.
Gonna just cool. I'm gonna give that a roll.
All right.
What we got?
Oh wow, that is a 6 and a 4.
Bam!
Wow, on a 10 plus with that move, as a reminder, on a hit, things are going pretty well. So you have an opportunity or advantage thanks to one of your obligations. What are the obligations that you have again?
My obligations are band practice, schoolwork, and my significant other.
Cool. So we're going to start off with the band practice. Paul mentioned in chat that the legacy move implies that you've had some play together. I mean, I'm okay with still rolling the move, but I think let's just roll forward with without it, unless you wanted it. Paul, do you want to roll that move, or would you rather wait?
No, I'm good without it.
Cool.
Yeah, because it says to ask questions of the other players about your recent performance.
That's right. That's right. Yep. Sorry, it's been a bit since I had a legacy, and that is a great idea. So let's just wait. Let us begin with where is it that you guys do band practice? Is this in a garage? Is this in Ash's garage? Is this in some kind of back of a bar where you've cornered out space? Is it in some kind of warehouse where you snuck in?
Oh man, no. Squatting to do band practice seems like a really, really good way to get in big trouble.
Yes, it does.
Goodness, and I mean, he magically travels, but Veridian's so far away.
Is it in Lincoln?
You know, yeah, I guess. It really depends on, I think, where whoever else is in the band lives. Whoever is not Ash or Anil.
So Ash is a guitarist.
Mm-hmm.
She owns many axes, and by axes I mean guitars, not actual axes, not yet. What about Veridian? What part does he play in this fine?
Veridian is the drummer, which is really, if you recall that picture, it's just amusing to me to think of this sort of not very, not super athletic looking young kid being the drummer in a band. But he's pretty good at it. He's got a lot of rhythm because a lot of his spell stuff involves like rhythmic patterns. So he's pretty good at it. And I think that I have a drum set that if we have a fairly permanent place to practice, I think I generally leave the drums there.
That would make sense. Although, I mean, magically traveling, you're. Oh, by the way, I assume you're in your everyday guys, Veridian, when you're here participating.
Yes.
Cool.
And I don't think it's out of the question that he actually is the one that has a van, or at least a car big enough to actually hold his drum set. And because we've sort of established it, it feels like the family has some, let's say, resources.
Yes, let's say resources.
How does the car get to the islands?
It doesn't. They keep it probably in a storage unit on the mainland.
Or there's a ferry. You know, there are all
ferry.
sorts of possibilities.
Yeah. Cool. So I like that they practice in Lincoln. That they have a permanent base means that does need to be probably somebody's house or basement or garage.
Do you want it to be at one of the other bandmates' houses?
Yes.
Okay. It is at one of the other bandmates' houses. I can live with that. That sounds amazing to me. And so we are going to say that, by the way, Story Games Names Project, For the Wind, something you should have in your arsenal as a GM. Unless you're incredibly thoughtful and quick with Google, then do that instead. You do you. I love it. It's worth every penny I paid for it. I'm going to say that Marcus Adrianos is Greek, from a Greek family, and he's got a lot of siblings. In fact, one of his other siblings is also named Marcus. Just totally stealing that joke because it amused me. And you guys practice in his garage. It is spelled differently, yes. His is Marcus with a C. His younger brother is Marcus with a K, because there were different Marcuses in their family line on either sides, and it's complicated, is how Marcus explains it. So Marcus Adrianos, he will show up in our NPC list. Don't worry, just call him Mark for now. It's at his garage, and it's a garage that's like fully converted to just band practice and occasionally where football will be watched. Like, no cars park here. All of the counters are festooned with things for a potential party. There's a flat screen TV that's actually mounted on the wall, and often the Adrianos, they will have people from the neighborhood over, and they'll sit on the several couches where now, if either of the other player characters you want to witness the band practice could be there, along with Elizabeth, who is here to support her girlfriend as she plays, and you guys are jamming out. Now,
this was mentioned in the chat, but just to make sure it's been said out loud in this session, if any of the other PCs are here to witness and support, it's Veridian they're witnessing and supporting, because they don't know that Ash is Seraph.
100%.
At this point, only Veridian knows that, I think.
That's
Marcus does vocals in this case?
Yeah, you need a lead singer, and Marcus will be happy to fill that role. He's, he plinks away a bit at his guitar, but he's nowhere near as good as you. Are you lead or bass, by the way, Ash?
Oh, lead.
Lead? Awesome.
I mean, I can play bass, but it's a waste. Well, no, that's mean and elitist. Probably Marcus plays bass, because...
So plays bass, lead singer?
Yeah, plays bass, lead singer. But yeah, I feel like our music isn't technical enough for our bass parts to be deeply challenging.
Do we have another Mark? I'm seeing some chat with you guys. I may have screwed up.
Atlas
I am
is,
Marcus.
Atlas is Marcus.
I'm so sorry. I grabbed the name off the list. There's the one.
That's why I was like,
So
oh,
let's
it's
change his name.
Marcus.
Let's change his name. So he's no longer Marcus. That is
Marcus fine,
easily
but if
changed.
it's Marcus, then and everyone keeps saying Marcus, I'm like, huh? What? I'm singing now?
It's totally. I apologize. It didn't click because I thought Atlas. Let's call him
Dimitri.
Dimitri. There we go.
Cool. Changed.
And one of his brothers can be named Demetrios.
I like it. So do we have anybody else in our band? It's just 3 people?
I don't know. Let's see. You've got a lead singer / bass.
I think we need keys for some of the music you were talking about, Jim.
That sounds fun.
So we need a keyboardist.
Cool. Let's go with a keyboardist. That sounds really fun.
Female type person.
Okay. Sorry for dog in the background there. He's protecting us from something very dangerous, I assure you. Let's go with someone who's Korean. A Korean American. That sounds fun to me. Korean is in the thing has a very several steps to create a name. So we will call her. Oh, that's a neat name. Unyoung Kim. And I will type that in chat. Everybody just calls her like Un or Young. You guys didn't hear him? Oh, that's awesome. Did you guys all meet each other in high school?
Yeah, I mean,
okay, cool.
I mean, at least I met them in high school because I've only been in the area for a few months.
Yeah, I think we met at school.
Okay, and then we'd kind of talked about the possibility of Ash attending Hope Prep.
Oh, I am.
Okay, cool. So then they're all attendees of Hope Prep. So I think Young Kim has like some kind of minor power. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Sky High, but I'm kind of imagining that she has some kind of mutant power that is not necessarily helpful, like something you might roll up in the game Icons. I don't know what it is yet, but we will figure it out.
Fun.
Like there was a character, just to explain, there's a character in Sky High who can glow in the dark. That's his power. There is a character that can turn into a hamster. Not a superpowered hamster. A talking hamster.
We also had the Pika in our Mark's LARP.
The what guy?
A Pika, like it's also basically a hamster.
That's awesome. Okay. Oh, yeah. Like the Ember game, Paul. Remember? Yay. Excitement. Which is where Pikachu came from. But anyway, I didn't know that. Paul taught me that. Just giving him props. So you guys are playing. So we've got In-Young Kim behind the keys, and Dimitri is your lead singer. He also plays bass moderately well. You know, he's kind of a, let's just say he's the last in the pack.
If we do any recording,
Always are.
if we do recordings, I'll probably play a line of bass and patch that in post.
As long as he doesn't know. So are we going to say Anil or Anil? How do we pronounce Veridian's first name? Anil. So Anil, how is Dimitri singing? Like we've already established his bass playing is not amazing. He keeps up.
Well, I figure if his bass playing isn't good, then his singing, yeah, I mean, he's got to have at least one of the two going on. And not just the garage.
Okay, so he does.
Know what I'm saying?
Yes. So he's a bit of a front.
I think he's a pretty decent lead. Yeah, he doesn't have. He may stretch himself a little bit too much. Like he may not know when it's time to ask Ash to sing a line instead of taking it himself on some of this stuff, but he's a good singer. He's solid.
Cool, cool. So why is it that the two of you are here? Before I made an open question, I'm just going to be mean and say, why is it that Armature and Atlas are here? It could easily be there's some other person who's here to watch, listen to them play that you want to hang out with or something. Or it could be, do you just happen to be in the neighborhood? Why do you think Armature might be at this band practice?
I mean, I think she was getting frustrated at the shop. Like she's getting, like they were moving things through her lab, you know, putting boxes in places and stuff and spoiling experiments and things, so she had to get out. She knew Veridian and some other people were playing some music, and she didn't know Atlas was going to be there, but oh.
Cool. Yes, this is you are pretty obvious Armature because of your robotic limbs, but are you seated on the couch by Elizabeth? Or are you walking around?
Kind of in kind of lotus position almost, kind of thing, like legs, well, one leg crossed over some prosthetics, and you know, just all the cables are just resting on my lap.
Nice. Lisbeth, kind of spunky redhead, is probably munching on a bag of some kind of, you know, like Doritos or corn chips or something like that, and she'll offer some to you, Armature. She's good-natured that way. She's super enjoying this music, like, cheering on, being...
Yeah, one of the little cable just comes over and it's like the end just opens up with like a little tiny pincer and just pops into my mouth.
Yes, there will be a moment as she watches this take place, and that is fascinating and a little intimidating. So what about Marcus? Not the Marcus I named before, because that character is not Dimitri, but the legit Marcus, Atlas, all 7 feet of you.
7.5.
7.5. Wow. You probably have like a permanent bruise and all the.
There's some doors that have some damage.
Why did you move into the Spanish style home? Sorry.
Yeah, he's staying all the way like up against the wall, staying out of everything and everyone's way. Like whenever a band's playing and he stands even slightly more out front, he gets grumpy people behind him going like, "Hey." So yeah, he's just all the way up against the wall, and yeah, just came here to support Veridian.
But this is the time where if you've got a front row seat, that's fine because there's only the front row.
Yeah, this is band practice, isn't it? It's not a gig.
No, it is not.
Right.
A gig.
No, but still pushed up all the way, like leaning against the wall.
Cool. And as the music
mode is enabled, like no, I'll just be here. It's fine.
There's a moment where Dimitri kicks over to Eun-Young and she starts like this keyboard solo, and Elizabeth gets up with her bag of Chicken Wizzy flavored chips, and she comes over and she offers it to you, Atlas. Like you're seated down and you're still as tall as her, kind of thing. Or, you know,
yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, he sort of has to like sit down because like if he's the practice area, I'm assuming is not like all that, the ceiling is not all that high, and so he's sort of like if he's standing up, he actually has to crouch a bit. So yeah, he's just sitting down and takes, what was it, Twizzlers, whatever. Yeah, and that's like thanks.
And she smiles up to you. You know, she's trying to be polite and make sure you're involved, like kind of she bringing you in type deal. And then she'll head back over and slump on the couch. This is a couch that used to be inside the Adrianos home, and when they got the new one, they just cycled it out. You know, so it's a decently comfortable couch. You guys come to the end of your song. Is this a song that you've written, Ash, or do you guys only do covers or what?
No, I wrote this one.
Nice. Very cool. So that is going well. There's probably a couple of mental notes, I assume, knowing Ash, that she has for the song, but it sounds good. Nobody other than you guys in the band will probably have any Easter. And Dimitri says, that was good, guys. That was real good. And Young, I love that solo. Maybe a little long, but it's good. Hey, listen, we need a name because this Saturday we've got our first gig.
I always forget that part. I don't know. Were you thinking of anything?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it, and unfortunately, I'm the worst person for naming things because I've studied too much about names. So I'm probably a bad choice.
Unyong throws up a hand and she reaches over for her, her peach branded phone and starts skimming through. Well, I could like look through a band name generator. And I mean, it's not like it has to be permanent because we could change our names anytime we want.
I mean, you've got a point, but it feels kind of cheap. But then again, if we just start spitballing stuff, won't that be cheap too? God.
She's like, what if we come up with an anagram? Isn't that what it's called? The thing where we take the initials of our names and we make word out of it?
No.
So, Armature, it seems that someone has a problem. As a brain, I'm wondering what do we see? What's your reaction to these people stumped with some kind of band name issue?
This doesn't seem like the kind of thing that she would like. Anything that would seem like have a more practical solution, she would jump on, no matter how complex that solution might be, or out of the box. But I think something like this, which is, I think this is more of a social thing, and I don't think she would. I think she's like, actually, while all this is happening, she's currently I'm restocking my supplies on always prepared move. I'm just like plugging little modular things together and just like.
Hold up. Dimitri, who else is playing? Do we know?
Oh, we're playing at the record store just down the street. It's not like, I mean, it's a gig, but it's not like a gig, like, because Mom doesn't want me going to bars, but record store is cool. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's cool. I haven't asked, but it's not a bar.
What about like unclean gerbil?
Kim like nods vigorously and looks up and up and up at you because she's Korean, so she's very short in comparison to you.
I'm sitting down.
Still Korean and also very short. She's like 5'1".
Anil gets a little meta and says, I'd like to X-card unclean gerbil.
Dimitri's
Secretly,
yeah, I don't know what that means, but that's way too many like gross jokes there.
I'm just like quietly fist bumping Emil, like trying to be where nobody else can see it. I mean, if it's a disposable band name, we can just say disposable band name. Nobody will care. But we want people to care. We want to have an identity.
Gerbil harassment?
Marcus, what's up with you and gerbils today?
Somebody wants a pet.
I like gerbils.
They are cute.
Yeah.
Let's just go full high school. Make it something like sophomore disaster or something.
Onya Kim says, I'm kind of with the gerbil thing. Maybe not the unclean thing, but like, I don't know, super gerbil or gerbil tastic.
Gerbil chow?
Are they eating chow, or are people eating the gerbils as chow? Is this important?
I think it's chow for the gerbils.
Gerbils
Acceptable.
Uprising.
Gerbil uprising?
I'm gonna dictionary attack this problem if we can't come up with something good, guys.
Dimitri's like, listen, it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, I just want to get us some exposure, but like Ash, you know, if you really want to come up with a different name, I get it. So how about by tomorrow? I gotta call the guy tomorrow. It's not like they're gonna put us up on flyers or anything, but he will put it on that chalkboard that's on the outside. So we need a name by tomorrow.
Okay, cool. I'll make a poll and I'll put it up in our group chat and we'll vote on something.
You know what? I think we should just resolve this now. How about Teenage Gerbil Uprising? That way we've got gerbils, we've got teenagers, and it's edgy.
I accept this compromise. Okay, cool. Do we shake on it, guys? Come on.
We do the thing where we all put our hands in the center of a, like, you know, like we're before a football game or whatever.
Yes, we're a team.
Yes, like a sports ball thing where you do the huddle grouping. Yes, there you go. You guys all come to the idea of Teenage Turtle Uprising, and Lisbeth, she's pulled out her little sketch pad and she's written and she's doing fonts. Like, she doesn't draw. That's Ash's thing, but she like makes
Ash doesn't draw, she does photography.
What? Oh, Ash is photographer. So then, yeah, she's sketching out a rough gerbil. Yeah, some kind of rough gerbil, and then mostly working on the font of Teenage Gerbil.
I think while she's doing that, I kind of lean in, just kind of, I hope you don't mind all the weirdness, you know.
What do you mean?
You know, well, Veridian, Atlas here, me. You know.
Why would I mind? I mean, Veridian's really nice, and Atlas seems nice, and you're nice.
I just, you know, maybe more weird than you having your day-to-day life.
It's interesting. And you guys hear the sound of a crash. It's like a couple blocks away, you think? But then you hear that sound of a car alarm going off.
Oh, shit.
I think we should investigate.
Yes. Rhydian, you get in trouble with Dad if you get caught doing...
I don't think so unless something goes wrong.
And then you hear the sound of like tires screeching, and this seems closer. And then the sound of an engine, like a car gunning its engine and taking off. And it's getting louder.
Go, guys, do your thing. Come on.
All right.
If you do a good thing, won't your dad forgive you?
Yes. So I'm about to make my first roll of the game, I think. I will grab Atlas and Armature, put a hand on each of their arms, and then try to get us to a spot just before where I think the noise would be.
Awesome. So it's like a hand on Armature's, like her arm, or on an appendage.
On Armature somewhere.
Shoulder.
Well, I love it. I wasn't saying no. I just wanted to
Yep.
I wanted to envision it. Like, what's it look like in the frame?
Yes. So shoulder.
Cool. Yeah. So you tap her shoulder, and then of course your hand looks tiny on Atlas's forearm or something, and then you activate your deal. You are going to unleash your powers then.
That
and
is my intention.
teleport these guys out of here to whatever trouble is going on. That sounds amazing. Go ahead and roll with Freak.
I popped out my thing. So
Oh, so you guys are technically entering battle against a dangerous foe as a team. So I've added 2 to the team pool. You'll see that on the map.
I would like some help from someone. Here
Exactly.
too.
Just pointed that out in case somebody wanted help.
I mean, I kind of... Could the help come after the teleporting? Into whatever situation is happened? I'm assuming...
Well, it doesn't have to be with the teleport itself. It could be some gesture that you're the one that suggests it, or some gesture that you trust me to do this thing before.
Can I help? I'm like, I think I calculate from the sounds a safe, a distance and direction.
Okay.
So you're essentially giving me X and Y coordinates from here.
Yeah.
That's kind of awesome.
I'll give you the grid, that.
Okay, good. I'm good with that. So go ahead and spin the team pool.
Oh yeah, it's not. I'm forgetting what moves.
Oh, do you have a thing that you'd rather use instead?
I was forgetting that there wasn't a help someone roll.
Yep, you just spin the team pool and you are good to go. So that is a 1 for 1. So that moves that 6 to a 7.
What is our team pool?
It is on the map. It is currently a 2, and we have a few questions to ask as well.
I was just going to say, we did not establish it.
We didn't. What I wanted to do was you already start with 2, let you face the foe,
Right.
and then we would go through the questions. Is an obtuse way that I capriciously decided to do it and didn't explain it well. I apologize, but yeah, that was where my head was at. So you go ahead and mark that team pool from 2 down to 1. You guys edit that, or do you need me to?
Spatial position. I was like, I don't want to teleport inside a car.
What if it's a nice car?
Atlas can't fit in nice cars.
No.
And I think,
well, he can be in nice cars. They just don't stay nice for long.
No.
yeah, it's a 7 to 9, so I'll take angry.
Okay.
Mostly angry that I couldn't come up with that information myself in such a short time.
Sweet. And the way you see this magical transport is, were you thinking, I want to get out of here, or do you have the ability to, I will teleport to where this accident is taking place?
If I can visualize it, at least abstractly, I think if I know where I'm going, it shouldn't be a big deal at all. I could probably,
Sure.
get to school.
Exactly. Like get to school. I'm not gonna make you roll for it unless like there's something story wise. Normally that's
But
the thing.
if I can visualize it spatially, but it's easier if I've been there, and the better I know a place, the more confident I am that that's where I will arrive.
Awesome. You end up teleporting to the corner of Pennsylvania and Kissinger, which is right near Southside Botanica. It is only a few blocks away. This is a commercial area. So along with Southside Botanica, there are also a few like diners and like there's an antique shop, and it's kind of a place where people will go in Southside to walk and shop kind of thing. Usually slightly older folks, unless there's some kind of festival that's going on. That's what's going on Pennsylvania. And as the three of you arrive, you are on the sidewalk and you see that car go by. So this car is a late model sedan, and it is in rough shape. It's actually running on one of the tires has been blown out. And you see behind the wheel of this vehicle is a girl with pink hair. Hair is kind of shaved on the sides. And she is driving and kind of looking back and occasionally glancing at the rear view mirror. And you see that she is being chased by none other than a member of the superhero team called the Transcendent Crusaders. His name is Coppertop. He has electricity-based attacks, and his skin, when he heroes up, turns to this kind of copper. So he's very conductive. And Coppertop is able to fly on this like bed of energy that, and he's just kind of pointing his finger and sending electric arcs directly at that car. And the girl and the pink-haired girl is driving erratically, and she kind of bumped into a few cars on the way because this car is not long for this world. So that is what you guys are dealing with. Now we will ask the questions. Who's your leader right now?
I feel that it's Rhydian.
Okay. When you enter battle against a dangerous foe as a team, add 2 to the team pool, which we've already done. If the leader has influence over every team, right? I don't think you do. Do you, Veridian?
I do not. I have no influence at all.
Okay. If everyone has the same purpose in the fight, add another team. What is the purpose, Veridian, that you want to have in this fight?
To help Coppertop, but he probably doesn't need it. So to help Coppertop and look good while we do it.
Okay. What about Atlas? What is your purpose? What do you think you guys should be doing right now?
Atlas doesn't have a clue yet what's going on, and he's sort of looking at the car going, okay, that one's getting away. And he's probably going to be focused on stopping that one.
Okay. You've seen Coppertop before. He does commercials for a battery company. And what about Armature? What is your purpose?
I mean, we've got to safely stop this situation.
Okay.
I feel like there's danger of collateral damage here.
Seems generally like you guys have the same purpose. So I'll go ahead and grant that as one more team. You're now back up to 2. If any team member, does anyone mistrust Veridian?
No.
Okay. And is your team ill-prepared or off balance? You're coming upon a scene and trying to figure out what's going on. I don't know. It feels like maybe...
I feel like I'm ill-prepared. I'm still sitting down as we get teleported.
All right, so we remove a team. You're back down to 1. All right, so that is, we've gone through that rigmarole. As you come upon the scene, I'm going to jump back to Ash because your team just went on a thing without you. And Liz says, I'm sure they'll be fine. You want a chicken wizzy?
I accept a chicken wizzy and crunch on it. Doesn't contain real chicken, does it?
She turns it around. Chicken-like flavorings.
Okay, cool.
Wait, Liz would know if Ashley's vegetarian, right? So,
I mean, Ashley's one of those like on again, off again.
okay, so the question is like a random thing, and all right, good.
Type,
so yeah, she's like, I don't think there's chicken. It's like chicken-like flavorings.
Okay, cool. Do we want to go upstairs or not upstairs? We want to go in the house and see if this gets on the news?
Dimitri's like, yeah, we should probably support our bandmate by watching TV, and he will grab the remote and turn on the flat screen that's actually mounted here in the garage. As he's flipping through the channels, Unyong, she says, Ash, do you think Marcus likes me? I think he likes me, you know?
I don't know. He seems kind of hard to read. Maybe don't mistake nothing for something.
Well, I mean, maybe you don't have the same kind of radar that I do, but pretty sure that Marcus is kind of into me. I mean, it's like size difference is a problem, but he's so strong.
We'll ask him out.
It's like, yeah, it's the best way to know if your radar is working or if Ash is right, which is likely the Ash part being right. Oh, here it is. And then you've got like person in van who is heading towards the sea, narrating as they go that there's this big fight going on. Copper Top has been chasing the prankster villain, Sophia, across Southside. And they are now like in pursuit, right? And you see ahead, we see the backside of Copper Top is like floating along. Whoa, 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 as he's heading down the street, and he's just firing electricity willy-nilly as Sophia in this late model sedan is like trying to get the heck out of Dodge.
Oh my.
We circle back where we kind of go into the shot, as it were, and we have Atlas still sitting down. We have Armature, and we have Veridian, and the pink-haired girl, like, she tries to hang a curve, it goes skidding in, just that loss of grip from the one tire, and the fact that Copper Top hits the side of her car, and she goes skidding and slams into the side of a building. Bricks fall down onto the car itself, and it looks like, well, first of all, the car is not going anywhere. What do you do?
Well, I'm analyzing the situation. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Who is she? What's power sets?
Oh, that sounds lovely. Why don't
of power sets in the surrounding area, all that stuff.
That sounds awesome. So you're trying to analyze the situation. I assume then you are
rolling plus superior.
Yeah, you're assessing the situation. Roll plus superior.
Nope. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
An 8. Okay, on an 8 with assess the situation, you get one question from the list.
I'm assuming there's no cybernetics involved in this?
There are no cybernetics involved in this.
And I get this. Yeah, how can we best end this quickly?
Ooh, how can you best end this quickly? If you were to assist... so, here's what you gain. You watch this for a moment, and you caught that last moment as the car slammed into the building. That pink-haired girl poofed out of there. Like, she just popped out. Does not move the way that Veridian does. And you see her up on top of the building now. Like, she just poof. It's like somebody just picked up a chess piece and they moved it to a different level kind of thing. the way to best end this quickly is to take Sophia down, because the pink-haired girl, the problem is that Coppertop does not care who is in his way. He is out to take this villain down.
What was the name of his group again?
The Transcendent Crusaders.
Oh, wow. So he's a D-bag. Okay.
Guys, we need to get on that roof right now. She's teleporting.
Yeah, I mean, Atlas is not going to wait for anything else, and he's just going to, like, I'm assuming there's probably some balconies or something.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you can totally like grab onto a balcony and lift yourself up and try to.
Yep, he's gonna climb up the roof.
Oh, cool. If you want to make your way to her, I think you are trying to unleash your powers.
All right.
So go ahead and roll plus freak. Bull.
There we are. Freak. That top one. Suit meat. That's an 11.
Oh my, that is lovely. On Unleash Your Power on a 10 plus, on a hit, you do it. You don't need to mark a condition, or in the effect is not unstable or temporary. So you climb up. What does it look like? Is it just one of those? Like,
I mean, the first jump he takes, actually, like his hands come up to the second floor. In America you do the floors differently, so third floor already. And like, so he like actually like skips an entire floor and just starts hoisting himself up and then to the next balcony, and like starts with his long arms just going, basically Donkey Konging his way up the building.
Awesome. You get up on top of the building. Is it a thing where you kind of stomp across and like the tick, like you just jump from rooftop to rooftop type deal?
If she's not on the rooftop anymore, then yeah, he's definitely going to chase.
I imagine she was like half a block down, so you would kind of run along the street, right? Yeah. So the block kind of had a L-shaped intersection type deal, and she crashed there and ran into. So yeah, you come across, you see that she's stood up right now, and the Coppertop is hovering towards her. And as you get closer, you hear her go, "Hey, I don't know what the problem is there, Copy, but I think she kind of wanted it." And he fires an electric bolt at her, and she pops like slightly to the left, and it destroys the air conditioning unit up on the top. Sends a bunch of sparks, and you can see a flicker, and the power on the first floor, like the whole building, the power kind of flickers for a little bit. Armature, as you see that your teammate Atlas is headed towards that fight, what are you doing?
I think I'm furiously kind of putting some of the little modular pieces that I was tinkering with together into a new configuration as fast as possible, because I'm trying to see if I got I'm trying to build something that will nullify warping of space time.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I love that. Let's see then. So you are trying to use your always prepared?
Yeah, using
unleash your powers by producing a brand new minor invention or gadget from your supply. You spend a gadget and roll plus superior. Okay. Cool. So let's go ahead and have you do that. But I'm going to check in with Rhydian as you're kind of Legoing up this thing. Rhydian, what are you doing?
I think that I am just running down the street. I won't get there as soon as Atlas, but in the heat of the moment is not a time to test my my ability to apparate, as it were, to steal the Harry Potter turn.
As he's running, can I just be like, "Go, done, get out of there"? toss it to his hand.
Cool.
Nice.
The red button.
What?
The red button.
So we cut back to the television, and we have Liz with Ashley, and the two of you have the bag of chicken whizzies between you. We have Unyoung Kim and Dimitri all there standing around watching the television, and our intrepid reporter Fowl, she's kind of narrating, and she says, only a few years ago, Sophia and Xander were two of the heroes of Halcyon City, but then after the Transcendent Crusaders were able to find out the cyber data theft of Xander and send him to the spike, Sophia immediately showed her true colors, and became a prankster villain. And then she starts listing out all of the things that Sophia has been accused of, but of course she still, even now, remains uncaught. If only Coppertop can bring her to justice. And then she's like rushing out of the van. They parked right now. It looks like, she goes, oh, hopefully here's where things will go down. It looks like some young heroes are helping out Coppertop. And so if they could stop her here, that's great. But she is a teleporter, so we have to keep wary. And so Veridian, you're running. Coppertop flies overhead. Your hair kind of stands on end for a moment as he passes over top of you, and he fires a couple more bolts towards Sophia, and the pink-haired girl actually hits her with one of them. He like fires two bolts. One goes where she was, and one goes where he kind of guesses that she was headed towards. And she's hit, and it hurts. You can see her body's kind of arced with that electricity. Atlas, you see she's starting to fall at this point. She's going to fall off the side, like into the alley between the two buildings. What do you do?
I'm going to try and catch her.
Sweet. Then I think you are trying to defend someone, right?
Yeah, I guess.
You're defending someone or something from an immediate threat falling.
Yes.
You want to catch her, so go ahead and roll plus savior.
That was great, but yep.
Look at these 11s, you guys.
No, that's a miss.
Oh, by one. Oh, miss it just by one. You guys gonna let this go?
I imagine that it's like really just.
It's totally cool with me. I just want to check in before I do something.
And probably like slipping out of his hands.
So I can, if we can narrate that I get there in time.
Absolutely.
I can help by at least breaking the fall so that he's defended her.
You want to break the fall from a like 400 and something pound guy? That's gonna suck. I mean, magically you could do it, right?
Not
Maybe
him.
I'm going down with her.
Wait, I thought it sounded like you were just going to drop her. I can't.
Well,
there's no way I'm trying to break Atlas's fall.
So here, let me give you what is about to happen.
Okay.
You move to try to catch her from falling, and the pink-haired girl pops out of the way, and it throws you off balance. So you would go off and take a powerful blow as you fall. I don't know how many stories it is, but basically 1, 2, 3. You are on the 4th story effectively, which is the roof. It is a 3-story building in American brain workings for stories. So you would fall 3 stories, which would be taking a powerful blow.
I can actually then, instead of, if she popped out, right, instead of helping him, what I'll do is I'll try to use my magical binding to slow the fall.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Cool.
So
So then what you'll do is, let's just have you do that. Then you're going to defend Atlas from getting hurt, right? And if you want to do that, if you want to spin the team pool to say he's successful, then we'll basically say you don't take a powerful blow. But if you want to unleash some powers to do cool magic shit, that's cool with me too.
am I defending or freaking?
So let me ask you, are we just spending a team pool so that his miss turns into a success? Or are you doing a subsequent move based off
I was thinking, since she, I don't know. What do you prefer, Jan?
I'm fine either way.
Yeah, I'll leave him the experience point. Or
Yeah,
the
take your XP.
potential, and then I'll defend if that's the one. If that's what you think I should be
Yep,
doing.
that's what I want. All right, so defend the defense. The defender
All
went
right.
down. You save your team pool. You are trying to use magic to save him from taking a powerful blow.
All right, here I am, being a savior, and then switching windows. Oh, sorry, man.
All right. Good. So you were trying to bind him but instead you bind it to where he just sinks like a stone. Here is what I'm going to say. First, go ahead and take a powerful blow, Atlas.
All right. That's post conditions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Always having to submit it then. That's a 10. Yay. High is bad, isn't it?
So the bad news is you don't even get XP for it. Yes, that is exactly the worst thing. On a 10 plus, choose one. You must remove yourself from the situation, flee, pass out, etc. You lose control of yourself or your powers in a terrible way, or 2 options from the 7 to 9 list.
I mean, I think since I'm probably just going to fall, so I'm sort of probably out of the situation.
Okay, cool. And you're bound, right? That's not good.
Yeah.
Sweet. I have a thing. I have a thing that may happen. So cool. Here's what happens. Do you, Atlas? Do you have influence over Veridian?
Nope.
Yeah. So Veridian.
Oh wait,
Yes, yes, everybody
Oh, you
does.
do. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Good. Bam. So you unleash your powers. You try to save your buddy Atlas. He slams into a dumpster. As he does, he actually topples over and smashes into one of the walls. And you see that there's some trouble going on in that. We'll say it's a bakery. So he crashes into part of the bakery, and he's caused enough damage to where some of the people inside the bakery who are like there eating in the front half of the store are in a bit of danger, as this building is had a giant hole that shows up in it, and there's water spewing everywhere and some potential electrical issues. Veridian, that is something you should probably deal with. Let's circle back to Ash. And you hear our intrepid reporter, Ms. Foe. It appears that these young heroes are having a bit of trouble, as yet again the evil prankster Sophia has pulled a surprise on them. So they tried to help her, but she didn't even need their help, and now she's disappeared. And Coppertop says, "Where are you? Where are you?" And he starts raising up a little bit higher, electricity kind of arcing out of his body, and it's going out in a wider and wider arc.
I'm gonna go get some drinks or something. Text me if this gets interesting.
And yeah, Dimitri says, it's already interesting. And Onyong says, do you think he's hurt? Atlas is like super strong, right? He wasn't actually hurt. Was he? Oh, maybe he is. Oh, maybe I should go to see him in the hospital. What do you think, Liz? And they have their own things going on. So you can sneak out. What do you want to do, Seraph?
Find a spot without line of sight to the street, quick change, and get my ass over there.
Awesome. I think what we'll do is we'll call this an unleashing your powers to try to get involved. Does that sound fair?
Well,
a failure means somebody may see you.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Let's do it. Also, am I affirming my superheroic identity here?
I think you are.
Okay, cool. Then that means that my mundane and my freak swapped.
That's probably a good thing.
Probably. I need my Keyboard. Yeah, there we go. All right. And then I'll roll with Freak. No situational bonus or penalty. Boop. What we got?
Oh, I saw that one on the 3D dice, but then it ended up a 5.
Nice.
That is a mighty fine roll. An 11. Cool. So what does it look like? What does your transformation sequence look like?
I mean, the main flying wings come out first. And then from the back towards the front, the costume sort of replaces whatever I've actually got on, like clothing wise, and then the head wings come last and cover me up, so I've got to focus on them. There's a little bit of special effects light, because I mean, if this was a cartoon or a comic book, I couldn't imagine somebody not doing that.
Like heavenly light from above kind of thing. I love it.
Yeah, a little bit. And then yeah, I'm on my way. There's no singing unless I do it.
The distant sound of the Hallelujah chorus.
Yeah.
That would be so nice.
Guys, cut it out. I'm just helping other people.
Dimitri's like, oh, if only I could sing like that. All right, awesome. So you come flying above, and so we're actually just going to kind of track you. You see Sophia, the girl was identified on the news report. She's hiding on top of one of the buildings here. She's kind of hidden, and right now she's trying to jimmy open the lock to the door that will allow her to run down into the building itself. And Coppertop is floating high, and he looks over and he sees you, and there's like this electric arc from his eyes. And so I'm curious, Seraph. You've dealt with Coppertop before. Do you know his secret identity?
No, mostly because I had the opportunity and I was like, like maybe he got knocked out of his powers, and I had the opportunity to like peek under his mask or what have you, and I didn't. Okay. I maybe got him to a hospital or to a teammate. Who else is on his team, by the way?
Oh, who else is on his team of the Transcendent Crusaders? There is, let's say that other flyer that we saw in the Herald Collection, whose name I can't remember right off the top of my head, but let's say that he's, or they are also a member of this group. Does that sound cool?
It's he, and I can't remember what his name was, but...
I thought it was like Hawk something. I don't know.
No, I thought it was Harry something. Pardon me. There we go.
Cool. But so yeah, you had that opportunity. You've also heard a bit about Sophia or Saf and Cryptor, which is the name of Xander Faller, who was arrested for the deep, basically bank heist that he pulled through computer hacking. Okay. The two of them before he was caught were kind of mid-grade, not publicity seeking, but heroes in their own right, a little bit more renegade oriented. But then Xander was arrested for this, pretty serious felony, and has been in the spike ever since. And yeah, so you're aware a bit of that backstory. Cool. So what do you do as you come flying above and you see that Sophia is trying to escape from Coppertop here?
Oh,
Avian, thank you. Avian.
Yeah, Coppertop sees me. See, and she doesn't. What would Ash do?
What would Seraph do?
What would Seraph do?
Are you the mask? Come on.
Yeah. Nope. In the mask. it's interesting that she's trying to jimmy the lock and not just teleporting in. That's really what gets to me about this situation.
Just so everybody sees, this is what Sophia looks like. This is what Xander looks like. This is what Coppertop looks like. And yes, that is a mustache.
Lol.
Because it's the best.
Oh my god.
I love that. By the way, that is a Mutants and Masterminds character named Coppertop, who's actually a villain. I just like the picture and the something about the shorts that makes me think of a douchey superhero. So there's Coppertop. You ready to cut away?
I'm gonna actually motion Coppertop to where I think she'll end up after she goes inside the building. Suddenly.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna find a place to kind of perch and watch her.
Cool. So as that's going on, Veridian, what are you doing? You tried the binding spell. Atlas fell anyway. There's a problem going on in the bakery.
I want to know what Armature is doing, because I've got the fancy box.
Good question.
Didn't get anything other than what color button to push.
It was like, yeah, get close to a press button. But I'm like, I guess I'm following up as fast as I can go to the alleyway where Atlas crashed when that happened. So close behind you.
Okay, so what I'm doing is trying to get people out of the bakery in an orderly fashion. I trust that Atlas will be okay in time, and he would want me to help the people that we put in danger.
Awesome. So I think because you're trying to, let's say you're trying to provoke them, right? You're trying to provoke these people to leave and do what you say in an orderly fashion. So let's see how that goes. Go ahead and roll with Superior. You are muted if you were trying to say something, Paul. You got an 8. Okay, cool. You got one question, or sorry, on a 7 to 8. On a hit, let's see, 10 plus, they rise to the bait and do what you want. 7 to 9, they can instead choose one. It doesn't make sense for them to choose to err. So I think, yes, people will start trying to exit. You point the way, and they're trying to get out of here. And as they do, they're rushing past you, Armature, and it's not like they're going to knock you down. But I'm curious, Armature, what are you doing as you see these people are trying to exit out of the bakery? There's a water pipe that's burst, and it's kind of flooding the bakery, and there's a little bit of an electrical problem going on with the wall sockets.
Is the structure sound?
Overall, the structure currently appears sound. What's going on right now is the possibility of flooding and potential people getting electrocuted, causing further damage to the building as well.
Okay, I can slink through the fleeing people, and yeah, I'm just quickly look at all the problems, pipes, the leaking wires, things, and start bending them, wrapping a few cables around to kind of bend shut certain cable, some pipes, rewire things.
I like it.
To seal things up.
I actually think it would be interesting if you are directly engaging a threat here. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and have you roll danger.
I roll danger. I got an 8.
All right. On a 7 to 9, you trade blows. So I'm going to say that you take a condition.
Hmm.
Unless you get one option, unless you want to resist or avoid the blows.
I think I can't really shield myself because I'm trying to shield the people from this stuff.
Awesome.
So, I guess I'm kind of creating an opportunity for my allies.
Okay, cool. Cool. Everybody gets out safely. You take a condition, and imagine like you've got kind of the Doc Ock thing with your appendages, so they all spread out and they're putting up and putting away things.
Yeah, and glancing between the problems. So
that sounds really cool. Like I totally dig that. Yeah, that's good. So what condition do you take?
I think insecure because this is not really going well for us.
That sounds great. Okay, cool. So we cut away from you guys to the alleyway where Atlas, you're kind of staring up at the sky. Your feet have gone through a building. You're lying like half in, half out. You're bound. You can't really move, and you hear in your head, "Call upon me. I will break the binding."
Okay. That's creepy as fuck.
Perhaps it might be, yeah.
No, Atlas is like, what? And instead starts trying to.
Are you going to break the binding on your own?
Yep.
So bold. Unleash those powers.
So let's see, because if I unleash my powers to barrel through an insurmountable barrier.
There you go. That's exactly what this is.
I get to roll danger instead of freak.
Cool. You should roll danger instead of freak.
Would that be with a +1 because of influence and Veridian?
Oh, that's interesting. It is his binding. So let me real quick
He's
read.
not the target though, but
He's not the target. No, I'm gonna say no. No. It was a neat interpretation. I'm gonna say no.
I got a 9 then.
Oh, so close, so close. All right, so you take a condition, or it's unstable or temporary. Your choice.
I'm going to go for angry.
Cool, because you're unstable. You would have made more damage to the building and the wall and stuff. So yeah, just take that angry. You're like a little green about this. Awesome. So we're going to cut away to Seraph. You've pointed out to Copper Top. He gives a quick and subtle nod, and then he dips down and he goes through the wall of this building, and he smashes in right as she opens up the door, and you see this electrical arc just fire up through the stairwell, and it just engulfs her. It's one of those, like, you see this huge electrical arc lightning going up towards the sky, and you see the silhouette of Sophia as she's being electrocuted, and she falls back, kind of rolls a couple times, slams into the back lip of the roof here, and he comes floating up towards her, and he says, "You think you can laugh at me? What you've taken from me? You're going to be nothing but a grease spot, you little punk."
I fly next to her and I check her pulse and see how she's doing.
Cool. If you do that, you are going to be interposing yourself between her and Copper Top.
It seems fine.
Cool. You land near her. She's got electrical burns on the side of her face. Her eyes are kind of dazed, but she does have a pulse. And she meets your eyes, but she's not entirely sure what's going on. She whispers, "Am I dead?"
No, you're fine.
"Get out of the way." Get out of the way now.
Why? So you can turn her into a grease spot?
Child, you do not understand. Get out of my way. And he's landed and he's now walking across the roof towards you.
Okay, bye.
You can feel the electricity building around. Okay, bye? Does that mean you're going to try to get out of there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm bringing Sophia with me.
Oh, sure. Okay, sure. If you want to try to do that, though, I think you should. I think you're trying to defend her, right? Really, that's 100% what you're doing. So
Yeah.
go ahead and roll plus savior.
Okay.
Ooh, nice. An 8. Okay. On a 7 to 9, it costs you. You keep her safe. And you get to choose one. It costs you. Expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation.
Hmm.
And you also get to choose one from that list of clearing condition, taking influence over someone you protect, or adding a team to the pool.
Where's our team pool at? We still got just 1 point? I can't see it anymore.
I'm sorry. Yeah, let me move you back over to the map. I'm going to have to come up with a way to do that better. Yes, you still have 1. Yes, you have 1.
I take influence over Sophia.
All right, go ahead and mark. You've got influence over the villain prankster, Sophia.
Is Prankster like her villain name, or is
No,
it?
or she just calls herself Sophia.
Okay.
Safiyya. Sophia. She's referred to as a prankster by the press.
Got it. Well, all right. Then I've got influence over her, and I don't really feel like this escalates the situation. So I think I'm going to expose myself to danger.
Awesome. So he actually says, as you fly off, sorry to do this. Bam! And he electrocutes you. So go ahead and take a powerful blow.
All right.
He's going to try to shock you to where you drop her. Roll plus conditions marked.
Yeah. Oh, well. Ooh, there we go. Another 8. All right.
Okay, on a 7 to 9, you choose one. You lash out verbally, provoke a teammate to foolhardy action, or take advantage of your influence to inflict a condition. Or you give ground, your opposition gets an opportunity. You struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions.
I don't really feel like I'm in any opportunity to lash out verbally.
Sorry.
That's fine. I'm going to struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions.
Awesome. We'll ask you what they are when we come back to you. We circle back down to Veridian. Veridian, you see that Atlas has broken free of your bindings. He does not look super happy about it. But it's hard to tell. Like, he's angry a lot. And you also see that Armature is basically secured most of the building. She's gotten quite a bit wet. What are you doing?
Everybody's out.
Everyone is out.
Everything's under control. So I look around and I can see if I can see where the action is at the moment.
Awesome. So first thing you see is there's a camera pointed right at you guys. And your heroism is being filmed, as it were. And then just with the camera and you looking up, you see Coppertop chasing after Seraph, who is carrying that pink-haired girl. And Coppertop just attacked, like fired a lightning bolt at her, at Seraph, and hit Seraph, your teammate.
That's not good.
No.
How far away are they?
We'll say that they are like 2 buildings away, but flying, so getting away soon. If only you could teleport or something, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to try it. It's line of sight, even though it's in the heat of the moment. I'm going to have to try to magically transport myself over to.
You grabbing anybody with you?
I'll take. If Atlas doesn't look like he's going to punch me right now, I will put my hand on his forearm and take him. But
He doesn't look like he's going to punch you right now, but you are now his rival.
damn, rivaled.
Got rivaled.
So I will, in fact, take him with me.
Cool.
And so I guess I should roll.
Don't blow this roll.
Seriously. This is freak.
Get it.
That pretty can get it.
Oh no.
Oh, it's bad.
A 4. That is a 4. Oh man. There's a moment as you're looking at the moment, you're trying to time it. There's just a flicker of a lack of concentration. You think of somewhere else, and that's where you end up. It's really, really far away. Where is it?
The mall where I used to go on Sunday afternoons for pizza and to watch movies and read comic books.
There you go. Bam, pop, pop. And you are now standing in the mall.
Food court, probably.
Food court. Unfortunately, Atlas, you move several tables out of your way. They all move out of the way as you're now standing in the food court. You hear that music. Girl from Ipanema is playing over speakers off in the distance. There are a number of teeny boppers who are all turned around and look. Some cameras pointed, and they're taking snapshots of you guys. So we'll cut away. Armature, you have fixed things in the bakery.
Guys, I think we've got this sorted.
They're gone. Completely gone.
Oh dear. I just like one last glance to check my work.
You're fine.
Good. Right. I'm like start scaling the building. You know.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll dice to scale a building because you're gonna be slow. We get another exchange with Seraph and Coppertop. He says, "You need to halt now before I hurt you more, child."
Can I see this?
You definitely hear it, and yeah, let's say you scale up and you're able to kind of get within visual range.
I didn't know that Aegis accepted corpses into its court and its jails, you pompous jerk.
Nice. Oh, man. Cool. So are you trying to provoke him to back down here by accusing him of trying to kill Sophia? Or is this part of banter and you're trying to defend again if he fires at you again?
I feel like this is probably a provoke.
All right. Go ahead and roll plus superior.
All right. We doing this, dog?
Good luck. Whew. That is a 7. Just squeak by.
Yep. Get me.
All right. For NPCs, they rise to the bait and do what you want, or they can instead choose one. They stumble, you gain +1 forward against them. They err, you gain a critical opportunity. They overreact, you gain influence over them. And here is what he says. He says, That girl ruined me. She ruined me. Seraph, you don't understand. She has ruined my life. And for that, I'm going to see her in the spike. And if you want her alive, that's your choice. But she is going there right now, and I am taking her.
Do we have any communication system, by the way, to talk to each other?
Yes.
Whisper something to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to, because otherwise this is a really boring game.
Yeah.
Get him to cause a feedback loop on his energy. Get him to zap a generator or something. Something sufficiently large.
Ooh, are you pointing out an obvious flaw in a known foe's plan here?
Possibly I am.
All right. Go ahead and roll plus Savior. This is a brain move. I like it, so I want to see this. Dang it! That is a 12. On a hit, you're right, and another teammate can take advantage to get +1 ongoing to act on your information.
Seraph.
Yeah.
Okay,
no
good
kidding.
choice.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like looking subtly for that as I assert. No.
Sure. I think it's
I'll
been
take her to
perfectly
the
pointed
side.
out. If you want to try to directly engage a threat, you can use that +1.
Yeah. So by directly engage a threat, what I'm really going to be doing is probably flying near maybe a rooftop transformer
Sounds good.
type of
Yeah.
thing for power.
Maybe like this is an old south side's a little bit older, so maybe it actually has power lines above, like you fly near a power line kind of deal.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the visuals on that.
It's tricky, but I'm good.
We'll see.
Well, I hope I'm good.
The dice will determine. Hey, your confidence is inspiring. You just rolled your 12 though, or 12 is just rolled, so chances are not great.
We'll see.
Actually, chances are exactly the same all the time. I just
All right.
make those jokes.
Well, I'm afraid, so I have -2 to directly engage.
Oh no!
I know.
This is dangerous.
I know.
You do have a +1 ongoing to deal with the threat in that manner. From
So it's a -1 total. Wow. All right. Well, the good news is I get an XP.
wow, that sucks. So here's what happens: you get an XP. Congratulations. This game is called Potential. You fly between the transformers. He is faster than you anticipated, and he does electrocute you in the exchange, but the feedback loop harms him, and you end up getting hit hard again. And as you fall, Sophia grabs onto you and teleports you away with her before you guys slam into the pavement.
At least there's that.
And
Wherever
that
we
is-
go.
And that is where we will end today's game. With Veridian and Atlas at the Green Bank Shopping Center, and an armature climbing up on top of the building there, Coppertop having been kind of blown away, and he has fallen and slammed into a van, and we don't know yet again where Seraph and Sophia have gone. Cool?
Can there be a little shot underneath the credits or beside the credits of this, like a final panel at the end that shows Atlas and Veridian like just drinking gigantic Cokes from a straw?
Next to a smashed table because Atlas, in his frustration, just went.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
I love it. That's fantastic. All right, let's go through our end of session, and then we'll do our quick feedback. End of session, at the end of every session, you choose one. You either choose that you grow closer to the team, you grow into your own image of yourself, or you grow away from the team. We will start with Alex. I'm sorry, we'll start with Armature.
Yeah. I don't think I didn't grow away from the team, but I don't think I grew into my own self-image. That's felt, I gave some advice, didn't seem to go well, and we made a hole in a building. But yeah, I grow closer to the team. Let's see.
Through guilt.
Yeah.
Awesome. Explain
We
who
all
made
made
you feel.
mistakes.
Explain who made you feel welcome.
We'll say Veridian. Yeah.
Okay. Veridian, do you already have influence over
I have
Armature?
no influence over anybody.
Okay, you now gain influence over armature. Sorry to say aperture, and it's totally wrong. I apologize. Okay, cool. And you get to either clear a condition or mark potential armature.
If we're continuing from where we are, I'm going to mark potential instead of...
Yeah, we're going to continue from where we are.
Yep.
And next we have Atlas. Did you grow closer, grow into your own image of yourself, or grow away?
We tried to work together well. We just failed. Yeah, I think closer.
Closer? Okay, cool. Who
Yep.
made you feel welcome?
Armature.
All right. Armature, do you have
No
influence?
longer my rifle.
Yeah. I already have influence.
Okay, when you have influence over someone and you would gain it again, then you get to immediately shift one of their labels up and another of their labels down. This is the
Okay.
first time this whole game session where we did this. Trust me, that will change. But that's what we're doing right now.
Well, some of his super mystique has kind of rubbed off. I'm going to put you mundane up one.
Now, what are you lowering?
Still seems like pretty big danger, so let's leave that. Superior?
Okay. That's a nice flip
Fair.
side to...
Yeah.
All right, cool. And then Seraph.
I think I grew closer to the team.
Awesome. Who made you feel welcome?
I feel like Rhydian.
Oh, don't forget to mark potential, by the way, Atlas. So Veridian, you did not have influence, right? You said you had over no one, so now you have influence over Seraph.
Yay.
Sweet. And then last but not least, we have Veridian. Did you go closer, grow into your own image, or grow away?
I think I grew closer.
Oh, who made you feel welcome?
Armature, I think, because Armature gave me the device that I never got a chance to use.
You got a little present.
Nice. Did you already have influence over Veridian?
Oh, no,
Every-
the wrong one open. I need to...
Everybody should have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think
that means you get to shift one of his labels up and another down.
Ooh. Get the double shifting. He's let's move his freak up.
Probably a good call.
Apologies, superior down.
That also makes sense.
Good deal.
You guys aren't acquitting yourself in Armature's wheelhouse that well, so she's judging you.
You have been judged and found wanting.
Shit.
All right, so we will then do the traditional, our traditional roses and thorns. I'm going to lead
I
off
have
with
another session move.
Oh, yes, right. You even told us that ahead of time. What is it?
I've got it written down. Did I take steps to make amends for my shame? I mean, I'm trying to help people.
I agree. I think
Not
trying to help
exactly.
people in the bakery, while you're not directly dealing with the shame, I also did not directly bring the shame into this, so I don't want to ding you for that. I'll say that. Yes, is everybody else comfortable with that?
Sure.
Very close to a level up.
Okay. I may have to get more stingy with that one then. All right, cool. Now we'll do roses. Unless there are any other end of session Do we think the legacy? I don't think time's passed, so I think we're okay there.
Yes.
Okay, good. I will lead off with Thorns saying that Coppertop should be shifting labels. I should have done that. I wasn't doing that. That's a miss on my part, and I'll be shifting labels when adults come at you guys using their influence, because all adult heroes have influence over you. So I'll fix that. So now Thorns, let's see, I think I started with Alex for the end of stuff, so we'll start with Paul for Thorns.
I have a self-thorn, which is I need to learn how to manage these. There are even more windows now because I pulled out the character sheet into a separate
That always
window.
seems like it'll be cool, but it never actually works out for me because I end up losing where I put it in my desktop.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to see if the Roll20 app, you can roll on the mobile version, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can put the Roll20 app on my phone so that I can roll and then thus just keep my eyes on either the Hangout or Roll20.
Yeah, an added bonus. It's on the website. It brings up the little modify window, sometimes on a different tab. So I have to go to a different tab and find that. On the app, it just is right there. And you can just click submit very quickly.
Cool.
Cuts a bit of time off that.
Any other Thorns, Paul?
No. Not really.
Right. Thank you very much. Jen, what about you? What Thorns did you have?
I don't really have that much going. Nothing super stood out at me as a thing that we needed to improve.
Okay. Cool. If somebody says something you want to, like, me too, I'm sorry, that's probably not the right phrase. If you want to say, yes, I also agree, then that was totally a slip of tongue. I was not trying to make a joke. Sorry.
Don't worry about it. If I think of something, I will definitely try to loop around to it.
Cool. And Jan.
I would have liked a little bit more socializing time, but of course we also had to introduce a new character, so it makes sense that we didn't have a lot of time. But
that's a very good point. And then anything else, Jan?
No, that's it.
Okay, cool. Alex, what Thorns did you have?
I also think a little bit of extra social stuff. I think we could have maybe got a little bit more in, little bit of dialogue between moves and such.
Let's keep an eye towards that. I think we can as well. And I'd like to have that too. I really liked the characters we
That's
have.
not on any particular person.
Yeah.
So.
And I think knowing for sure that we have communication, that is, it adds to the possibility of
Definitely. Actually, to come back around, I was expecting a little bit more secret identity tension at the
rival
at the band practice.
I tried to put a little bit of that. I don't know if it went well.
I didn't notice at all.
I was trying to get the idea that your girlfriend would have no connection to the weird world of superheroes and stuff, and this must be very strange,
Yeah.
But,
and yet she's just sort of like, it's the thing that happens. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So was that a boring choice? I actually wanted to make it kind of an interesting thing of like, wow, maybe if you revealed this to her,
I
but
think
she already
it's cool.
knows. So,
I think that your choice there was cool.
Okay, cool.
I think that it's an interesting hint for Armature to sort of tuck in her back pocket.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, she knows, and she's obviously cool with it. Plus, she probably feels like she's backing. Yeah. Okay. Good. We're good.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. It is still good feedback and a thing to keep mindful of. Now, is there more that I could have done from a secret hero ID for you when you were stuck with a bunch of NPCs?
I think that scene did what it should have done appropriately, which is, stall me while I look for a way out that seems credible.
Okay.
But yeah, someday I'm going to need to roll mild-mannered, but I don't think that this was necessarily a good situation for that.
I'll try to keep my eyes towards that move to lean into it, so rolling it makes sense.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. Awesome. Let's see. I think that was the last thorn from Alex, so we'll stick with you in our snake order because I like snakes. Not really. They scare me. What roses did you have, Alex?
I like the escalation of that from seeming like very simple, we're just trying to catch a criminal, to, there's stakes and there's, collateral damage and, maybe we shouldn't be trying to help this person, and yeah. That was kind of cool.
Anything else?
I looked, we got to have a little bit of teamwork, even though it all just went really badly, but there was like a little bit of crossing over of, powers helping each other and stuff.
Good.
In the team.
Thank you, Alex. Jan, what roses did you have?
I like, sort of echoing what Alex said. Like, I liked that the fight was like it shifted its focus, like trying to stop her and then trying to save her, and that was cool. And I also liked what I'm assuming was the sword talking in my head.
I need to name the Claymore. Like, that was one of my to-do list tasks that I didn't get to, is like kick-ass name for Claymore. So that must happen. Thank you, Jan. Jen, what roses did you have?
I liked that we got to establish a bit more of the characters' lives and connections this session. That was neat. It's always fun to see like what comprises somebody's social life, what their day-to-day is like. I like the setting building portions of the fight, and I liked the reporter asides and the framing in that. That was fun.
Cool. That was fun doing it. Thank you for that. Good. Paul, what roses did you have?
I don't know if this was you or if this was HCHC, but just the incredibly dirtbag Transcendent Crusaders as a name for a superhero team is just awesome. And also, I've had, and Rich has been present for some of it, I've had a couple games recently where it felt like the players were not all pointed in the same direction. And it's such a relief to be playing with you guys and feel like we're all pulling together toward a similar narrative goal. And that when things screwed up in the fight, it was because dice and not because somebody wandered out into left field and started picking daisies and someone else decided that, they needed to throw grenades. So I appreciate you guys very much.
Yay. Doing our best.
No.
Oh, it's just, yeah. I love the Intercontinental group of awesome. You guys are my home group in my heart, even though you're all across the world. Good stuff. I really enjoyed today's session, and I got lots of roses to share with you after I have a chance to marinate, but I am going to go ahead and bring things to a close and say I had a great game and really excited to see what happens. We are playing next weekend. I will be out of town, So it'll be 2 weeks before we pick back up again, and we'll pick up Only Moments. It's like one of those to be continues, like a mini series arc kind of deal, and so we'll pick right back up at that point. Thank you guys so much for playing, and have a good rest of your afternoon or evening.
Thank you all.
Doodle.